Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and Halloween is coming to the game and it looks like Mirny will be returning with the Babylon project. This is going to be your opportunity to be able to play the Mirny game mode in the same kind of form as last year, with also an all-new Last Stand mode, and there's going to be another Tier 8 Premium tank to be able to get your hands on. This is a Tier 8 British Premium Heavy tank that I expect you're going to be able to get from just playing the PvE game mode like with the Obsidian last year. There'll be new bosses, everything. Let's talk all about it. But before we get stuck into all of the nitty-gritty details, let's watch Wargaming's video about the Babylon project. And I'd like to clarify, if you want to watch this without my terrible commentary, go and watch it on the official World of Tanks YouTube channel.
Hello, I'm Miriam.
Hello, Miriam.
I'm humanity's new hope.
New hope for World of Tanks.
I was named after the town where I was first discovered.
Brilliant.
Now I'm being actively studied at the purpose-built Babylon Research Center.
This is really cool. It's obviously very kind of like Fallout vibes, but there's a variety of other games which it's kind of reminding me of as well. Pretty cool stuff. I like this.
I have amazing properties that will make people's lives better.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I create powerful gravity fields.
I see. Maybe a new feature inside.
And can lift very heavy objects.
Brilliant. Yeah, like a boat, a ship. Great.
Thanks to me, scientists can travel through subspace phases and discover fascinating new worlds.
Cute. Cute, cute, cute.
I empower research vehicles with incredible abilities.
Maybe in the new Mirny game mode, you're going to have new abilities, like shields. Great, brilliant. We had that last year, though, but yeah, cool.
What other secrets do I hide from scientists?
Oh, no secrets at all, Miriam.
Energy? Teleportation?
Yeah, brilliant.
Soon, I'll share all my secrets with you.
Great.
And I'll open the gates to a bright future for everyone on our planet.
Wonderful. So, Mirny returning to World of Tanks for 2024. Looking forward to it. I always like the Mirny game mode. I think it's one of the best game modes that Wargaming has ever made. If not, I think it is the best one that they've ever made. I think it's a lot of fun to just play with some friends. And of course, the music is banging, right?
All tankers, this is Captain Smith.
What's up, Captain Smith?
Positions.
Are you?
Anyone who can hear this, move to Babylon.
Get to Babylon! Oh no. What was that, Ferdinand and the Turtle? I guess this is going to be you doing the Last Stand game mode. More on that in just a second. Those hedgehogs are a nightmare. Yeah, when the doom music sets in, right? Yeah, the music's great inside this. Fabulous. It's a fun game mode, this one. I'm looking forward to it. I'll definitely, once again, be setting up channels on my Discord server to be able to help you find platoons, to be able to find better groups, to be able to do the harder bosses, because I believe you're going to have to do all the harder bosses if you want to be able to progress, to be able to get that new Crusher. Okay, so it starts on the 17th of October. I believe that's for the EU and the Asia server, and it looks like the NA server is getting it the day before, so that will be Wednesday of next week for the NA server and Thursday for the EU and the Asia server, unless I'm confused. A few different pictures putting in some kind of lore here. You can go check that out on Wargaming's website if you want to practice your equations and whatnot. So fight in different realities. Classic mode. Go deeper, defeat echo tanks. Use Miriam to power your abilities and face the boss. That's what it was like last year. However, there's going to be a new Last Stand mode where you have to protect the Babylon research facility by fighting off incoming waves of twisted echo tanks. Round of applause, Wargaming. I have been begging Wargaming to do a Last Stand mode where you have to just fight off progressively larger and larger numbers of tanks, because even the hardest difficulty last year was pretty easy to farm if you were playing with reasonably okay players. So I like the idea of having endless waves hopefully coming with the Last Stand, although whether they're truly going to be endless, we'll have to see. We'll be able to investigate this. I guess more information will be coming next week, and of course, if you want to have a full guide to the actual gameplay and my tips and tricks, I'll be releasing that probably next Wednesday or maybe even next Thursday, depending on whether I can like get on the NA server early. Anyway, last stand mode. So the event last stand mode unlocked through progression in the classic mode. So you won't be able to play last stand mode from the beginning by the looks of it. Mirny is sending waves of monstrous tanks into our reality. To defeat them, use tier 8 mediums, heavies, and TDs from your garage, but with special abilities. So I guess, you know, all of those BZ176 players are going to be using that thing. Although maybe not. It might not even be that good, really, when I think about it, depending on what the abilities are like. But yeah, all of your OP premiums will be coming out for the last stand game mode. And I you know, armor is usually important in those game modes, so it'll be very interesting to see how that's kind of like balanced. Do you actually need mobility, or should you use something like a turtle and just have armor and huge DPM to be able to cut through your opponents? Will the autoloaders, larger autoloaders like the Lorraine, be very powerful if they manage to use their ability to be able to get a new mag in? And whoa, this is what looks exciting. A brand new British tier 8 premium tank. Now, I must say, how many British tier 8 premium heavies are there in the game? We've got the Gonzalo, the Charlemagne, the Caliban, the Carnarvon Action 10, and now we've got the Crusher. But the Crusher is the default look for this. Quite plain, kind of looks like a bit of a Tog kind of freak in a way, but we can see with what they're calling the Nergal skin, so I guess we're going to be calling this the Nergal, a bit like the Obsidian, which was actually called the TITT Rosanov, I believe, before they put the fancy skin on it. So the Crusher, let me look at the statistics and see what's good. Hold on, is this legit? 2,500 DPM and that's base? No way. For real, Wargaming? For real? Is that for real? 350 alpha with that kind of a rate of fire? Wargaming aren't actually putting the rate of fire here. I wonder if this is subject to change. That will give this thing staggering damage per minute and a very healthy alpha damage as well. Penetration-wise, it's looking okay. 230, 260, perfectly usable. Accuracy's poor. Gun handling is mediocre. The top speed limit looks awful at 24 kilometers an hour, with no opportunity to be able to improve that with the field mods. So turbo is going to be mandatory on this tank, and even with a turbo you're going to be slow because this thing goes at a horsepower per ton ratio of 11. That is horrendous, and its traverse speed is awful as well. However, it does get 10 degrees of gun depression, so that's going to make it very flexible on a ridgeline. And let me clarify, it's 10 degrees everywhere, even behind the vehicle. It doesn't look like it should be able to get 10 degrees over the butt of the tank there, so not even like sneaking behind this vehicle is going to help within that regard. Hit points are okay for a heavy. What the hell? 230 frontal armor, 80 side armor, 230 turret armor with 130 side turret armor. Horrible camo rating, but it's a heavy. It weighs 72 tons. This thing will be nice for ramming. 390 meters view range means that you don't need coated optics on this tank, but that's pretty much what World of Tanks is like these days. Okay, let's look at this thing's armor. Okay, so its armor on the turret is incredible. It does look like it has a few issues with the mantlet, maybe directly above the gun, but that's pretty much only if kind of like tier 10 tanks are firing gold at this. So yeah, mantlet issues just right towards the middle, maybe towards the left and the right for tier 10 tanks firing gold rounds. It has quite a few weak points on top that have 160 millimeters, so tier 6 tanks get screwed. You're not going to be able to deal with those. When it's using its 10 degrees of gun depression, those are some quite hard things to be able to hit, that's for sure. The upper hull on the tank, it's not the best. It's 240, so big pen is going to be able to go through the front there, especially if tanks load gold. That's going to make the upper hull annoying. However, it's using its gun depression. That's pretty good. That's pretty nice within that regard. The lower plate on the tank, stinky. 100. It's interesting though, because the tracks stick out so far that they actually provide spaced protection. Oh my lord, that is so weird. So what you kind of want to do with this tank is just make it so that your track is like covering most of your lower hull, and then you've got like 300 millimeters of protection. But then the whole of the side here becomes weak. Oh, what a freak of a tank. I can imagine this is going to be really, 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 really good against casual players, and I just don't think it's actually going to be very good against players who know what they're doing. But if you go like side on like this, they are going to have a hard time going through the well-angled side armor, but then it's like flat down here. So it's angled in this part, but it's flat over there. Oh my word, this is an absolute mad tank. This is quintessentially British to have that weak point on the side while you try and cover your lower plate. I wonder what like its reverse side scraping capability will be like, considering that it has such amazing gun depression over the back. So it will have an issue here. Oof. We'll have an issue here with the turret ring. Oof. But it should still be able to do some dirty work. Man, this thing looks like an absolute troll. So slow and just an absolute nightmare to deal with in position. It's really interesting that when it goes side on here that this becomes so much of a weak point on the side. I guess that means it's very good from the front, but just so awful from the side. And that side profile with 80, ooh, this thing is going to be juicy to lock down. I think one of the most amazing things about this tank is, okay, imagine coming around the corner like this. So, hold on, quintessential QuickyBaby calculator so I can understand what I mean. Imagine coming around the corner like this, just driving straight round the corner at your opponents. Now, they'll have to like hit here. Maybe if I change the angle just a touch to be more like that. Let's try that angle instead, if we can try and do it to perfection. Okay, how will that work? Okay, so now you've got like 300 millimeters of lower plate armor. Your whole lower plate is covered. You could just bomb it round the corner, and they're going to have to load gold and fire at your upper hull to be able to handle it. So many people will try and shoot through the tracks here. And I can imagine what you can do with this vehicle from a visual perspective is just come round the corner like, well, as if you go like this, and then hopefully get them to shoot your track. And then once they fired, commit the turret around the corner and deal with them. Man, I can't believe this thing has such good damage per minute. Does this mean this is going to be like the new best damage per minute on any tier 8 heavy? Is it even better? It is. It's just a little worse than the regular Carnarvon, but it has 350 alpha. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, I think this is going to be very good looking at the statistics, but I'll have to wait for my, well, you'll have to wait for my full tank review, and I'll have to wait till I actually get my hands on it to be able to back that up. Obviously super slow, but just in position could be able to do some absolutely gnarly things. I'd definitely recommend a durability on this tank to be able to stop them from catching those tracks. Definitely recommend a gun rammer to make use of that DPM, and definitely recommend a turbo. So it looks like I'm going to be dropping vents. I cry every time. So the Nergal, aka the Crusher, looks like an absolute brute. I think you want to get your hands on this tank, if not just for the memes. And all of you free-to-play players out there, this one looks like it could be quite a good pickup. A lot like the Obsidian last year, although I don't really see too many of those in the Matchmaker. That's a good tank, especially in a nice matchup, and I think this vehicle will be a good tank, especially in a nice matchup. And Wargaming say complete the event progression to add the mighty Nergal to your tank collection, so opportunity to be able to get a tank for free just after you could get the new Polish tank destroyer for free from the Mission Marathon as well. Great time to be a free-to-play World of Tanks player. Okay, so there's some bosses. This is the toughest adversary from Mirny 13. This is the one that we fought last year. It was called the Immortal last year. Now we have the Immortal's viler, even more twisted, sinister twin. Looks like it's going to be for like level 2 difficulty and then level 3 difficulty. What is this? So this enigmatic steel colossus resides on the deepest layer of Miriam's subspace. Scouts who spot it from a safe distance reported this colossal double-barrel, high-caliber HE firing gun with immense destructive power. Wow, cool stuff. And Battlefield's subspace, what's this? So Miriam's subspace is constantly changing, but the basics are the same. Traverse 3 phases, fighting increasingly tougher opponents while evading the invulnerable Immortal. Go to the 4th phase and you can meet a new boss and destroy it. Exciting stuff. And there's going to be bundles, so you can be able to get your Nergal sooner if you don't want to actually grind through what is a fairly easy PvE game mode. And if you want to check out some of the awesome music for the Babylon project, then that will be on Wargaming's website as well. So, ladies and gents, boys and girls, Halloween looking like a double thumbs up from me. I think it was fantastic last year. Massive thumbs up from me for Wargaming to give the Nergal out effectively to everyone who participates in this. And if you struggled last year with getting through the event quickly, I will once again be putting up loads of channels on my Discord where you can come along and be able to find like-minded players who want to complete the more difficult boss encounters to be able to get through the progression, or alternatively want to just sit back and grind and put a few hours in to be able to get the Nergal. So either come along on Twitch, find the link, or I'll put one in the description next week. for the guide video that I release for destroying the bosses. Anyway, ladies and gents, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Big thumbs up to Wargaming for the Babylon project, Halloween 24. I think it looks great. Wonderful stuff. Way better than wasting time on things, in my opinion, like Onslaught, which is very salty. I think this is a really fun game mode and brings players together. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you hated the video, give it a thumbs down. And let me know what you think about the Nergal in the comments down below. Do you think it looks crazy good, or do you think it looks mediocre? And, as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.